Hey film fans, my name is David, this is Film Collector Archive, and today we're talking Kino Lorber. I'm excited to bring you this video today. I was able to make a not small purchase from the Kino Lorber Roctober Sale. There's a little bit of a delay in getting the titles that I ordered. I actually put this order in October 6th. This video is being published in November. I just got the last part of my order today. I know one thing that held it up was the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So spoiler, there's one of the titles I got was the Hunchback of Notre Dame disc was sold out. I think it's been a very popular new release for them, and so of course I wanted to keep it in the order, and I just kind of waited them out to wait for them to get more copies in. And so in fact I'll just show that right here. So this is the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's a new 4K restoration on the film, and so I'm really excited to have this in the collection, and I was obviously willing to wait until they had more stock. So let me just go over this really quick. Yeah, so it includes a 4K restoration, and then we get an audio commentary by film critic Farron Smith Neame, and then there's a booklet included in here, and just lots more supplements included here. So this is one that I had to have. And now this haul, I picked up quite a few titles. I went pretty nuts this time with this sale. This is the biggest haul I've had from Kino. There were so many titles that were calling my name. And the amount of titles that they had, I believe they had, I want to say 800 titles available for this sale. And so I just went absolutely bananas. So I have these sectioned off, so there's going to be some kind of format to how I'm showing you the titles that I picked up here. So first up we'll do the partner labels, so Scorpion releasing Code Red type stuff. And then the kind of random Kino stuff, so like the Kino International, kind of the Kino proper where it's nothing specific. And then finally we have the studio classics. So we'll just kind of go in that format. So first up, we will start with Scorpion releasing. And I'm just going to be quick because there are a ton of titles to get through here. So no reviews here, just showing what I picked up. This is The Devil's 8. And this is from 1969 with a runtime of 98 minutes. And this features a brand new 2021 2K scan. And then there's an interview with Larry Bishop. So that is The Devil's 8. Next up, also from Scorpion releasing, we have a film by Jerome Boivin. This is Baxter. This is, from 1989 with a runtime of 84 minutes. Next up, from Code Red, this is a horror film that's been recommended by a few friends in the collecting community, so I wanted to pick this up. Now, at time of filming, this is the day after Halloween. So, I mean, obviously I watch horror movies year-round, so I will definitely be popping this disc in soon. This is Just Before Dawn. Now, I believe they had a release of this previously, maybe when it first came out, that had a slipcover that was included. But I'm getting this quite after after it's been out for a while, so no slipcover to speak of here. But this is 1981 with a runtime of 91 minutes. So really looking forward to that. I'm a big fan of slashers, and so one that I had to add to the collection. Next up, from the Cohen Film Collection, who I'm starting to pick up titles from via Kino Lorber. Now, this is another one, actually, that was out of stock that I had to come back in. And this is a film by Joan Micklin Silver. This is Between the Lines. So this is from 1977 with a runtime of 101 minutes. This has a cast featuring Jeff Goldblum. That's really who kind of grabbed me. I'm a big Jeff Goldblum fan. We have John Hurd, Linda Krause, Mary Lou Henner, Gwen Wells, Bruno Kirby, Jill Eckenberry, Joe Morton, Louis J. Standlin, and Michael J. Pollard. But Jeff Goldblum was really the actor that grabbed me, that really caught my attention. And this is actually features an all-new restoration. Just trying to see. It doesn't. Oh, here we go. A 2K restoration of Between the Lines from Cohen Film Collection. So a new 2K restoration here. All right, next up, excuse me. We have, now these are releases from Milestone Film and Video. Now, I've never heard of that label before. They're obviously distributed through Kino. And this is two films, so they're actually called Film and then Not Film. So this is the original title, and then I believe this is a documentary about this one. So filmed by Samuel Beckett. Just trying to find some specs on here. And I am not seeing, let's see, 1965. And then Not Film is not letting me know what year it was made. Anyways, this is from Milestone Film and Video. Not familiar with this at all, but I just read the little blurb on the Kino Lorber site and was really quite interested. Obviously, here on the cover, we have the great Buster Keaton. All right, so that is the kind of partner labels, if you will. Next up, we're going to jump into the Kino Lorber, and then again, the last thing we'll do is the Studio Classics. But first up, in fact, I want to do this way. So this is another kind of dual documentary. So we have Heart-Worn Highways and then Heart-Worn Highways Revisited. I believe this is a documentary about country music or country music musicians, and looked really intriguing. So this is I decided to get both the original and then revisited. Let me see if I can get you a year on here. Sorry, I'm not meaning to take so much time during the trying to find this information for you. We have 2017. Actually, both of them have a copyright of 2017. All right. Next up, we have The Woman Who Left, a film by Lav Diaz. This is from, this has a runtime of 228 minutes, so really daunting runtime on this one. I know it's a newer film. Looks like 2016. So that is The Woman Who Left. Next up, this actually had a Criterion release that I was never able to pick up, and a film that I've been interested in seeing for quite some time. This is Last Year at Marienbad, and this features a new 4K restoration. This is from 1961 with a runtime of 94 minutes. Really, really interested in this. I think I heard someone at one point saying that this had some parallels to The Shining. I can't remember to what degree they were saying that those parallels exist, but really interested in seeing this one. I've heard so many people talk about this film over the years, and it's just never been one that I've been able to add until now. So last year at Marienbad. All right, next up, I remember seeing the trailer for this documentary. This is a film by Abel Ferrara, and this is The Projectionist. This is a runtime of 82 minutes and is a film from 2019, so a newer film and newer release here, which just came out this year. Next up, this comes highly recommended by a bunch of people. I know most recently I saw A Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader. If you're not familiar with his channel, wow, absolutely 100% worth a sub. He really knows what he's talking about when he discusses film, and really enjoy listening. He's one of those people on YouTube that I could listen talk about film for hours and hours and hours, and I do, because I watch all of his videos. But he was discussing this film. This is from Kino Classics, The Great Bela Lugosi in White Zombie. So this is a special edition and includes, in fact, he was making a note on here that so it's mastered in HD from a 35mm fine grain master, and then I think they include like the remastered edition on this disc. I think he was saying was not as much worth your time as the other version that they include, the original version that they include on the disc. Like the remaster really kind of ruined the look of the film. He said it much better than I'm saying it, but I remember him bringing that up. So either way, I'm really excited to see Bela Lugosi in White Zombie. This is from 1932 with a runtime of 67 minutes. So nice short runtime on that. Next up, we have a documentary, 30 years of television, 24 hours a day, 70,000 tapes. This is Recorder, the Marion Stokes project. I read the blurb on this one and thought this sounded really, really intriguing. And this has a runtime of 87 minutes and is from 2018, so a newer film here. With Recorder, the Marion Stokes project. Next up, we have another documentary. This is a film by Tony Zierra, one that I've had my eye on for years. This is Film Worker. And this is from 2017. So I guess I haven't had my eye on it for too long because it's only a few years old. In color, runtime of 94 minutes. I'm a fan of the work of Stanley Kubrick, and I really like these very human pieces. And this seems right up my alley in terms of being a documentary, and a documentary set within the world of film. I think is really intriguing. So really interesting subject here that I'm excited to watch. Get this, another documentary. And this is another, sorry, I should have shown this previously because this is with the Cohen Media Group. This is Women Make Film, a new road movie through cinema. And let's see, this is a much longer runtime here. This is kind of a miniseries. This is a runtime of 840 minutes. And coming in, I want to say this was one of the $9.99 deals with the sale. I mean, that's for an 840-minute runtime documentary. Yes, please. I'm very, very excited. So this is narrated by Tilda Swinton, Jane Fonda, Adjoa Ando, Sharmila Tagore, Carrie Fox, Tandy Newton, and Deborah Winger. And I remember now what the hook was for me initially. This is written and directed by Mark Cousins, who did The Story of Film, which I recently picked up, including his, I have over here on the shelf, The Story of Film, the book, the companion book to the documentary series that he did, The Story of Film. So I saw his name attached to this project with the ridiculous price point, like I said, of $10, and could not say no. Very, very interested in this one, and getting to know more of the work of Mark Cousins. Another documentary here, a film by William Greaves. This is Nation Time. I'm sorry, let me go back to this one. I don't know if I gave a year. Maybe I did. This is from 2018. This one has a runtime of 80 minutes and is from 2020. So this is a newer film. A vivid portrait of a once-in-a-lifetime gathering. Best known for his genre-bending movie Symbiopsychotaxiplasm. That's where I remember the name William Greaves from. Symbiopsychotaxiplasm has a Criterion release. Both of the Take 1 and Take 2 are included in the same release if you're interested. But William Greaves was the director of over 100 documentary films, the majority focused on African American history, politics, and culture. Nation Time is his vivid account of the National Black political convention held in Gary, Indiana in 1972. So really interested in this. And this one includes a booklet as well. So obviously we're very documentary heavy here. And that continues here with Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice. This is a runtime of 93 minutes and is from 2019. I knew this was a newer one. I love music documentaries, and this has been at the top of my stack, of my need-to-buy stack for quite some time. All right, next up, we have another documentary, The Woman Who Loves Giraffes. Let's see here. So this is from 2018, and I'm not seeing, there we go, runtime of 82 minutes. A big-hearted documentary, a fascinating story. It's simply a thrill to witness. In 1956, 4 years before Jane Goodall ventured into the world of chimpanzees, and 7 years before Diane Fossey left to work with mountain gorillas, 23-year-old biologist Anne Innes Dagg made an unprecedented solo journey to South Africa to study giraffes in the wild. So I had read a blurb on this one, just a synopsis on this, and just immediately grabbed my attention. Next up, we have from the Kino Classics line, Heinz Ruhmann in Robert Siodmak's The Man in Search of His Murderer. This seemed like a really interesting premise in this one. From 1931, black and white with a runtime of 53 minutes. Really excited about this. Sorry, I know I'm not giving information on why on all these titles, but we just have a lot to get through here. Next up from the Kino Classics line, a very, very problematic title. This is The Reputation precedes it, most definitely in this case. This is a deluxe 3-disc edition of D.W. Griffith's American epic, The Birth of a Nation. not easy content to get through, that's for sure. I remember the first time that I actually saw this film was in my high school film history class. So that goes back, it's been 20 years since I've seen this film. That kind of ages me. But yeah, it's been a solid 20 years since I've seen this film. So I wouldn't say that I'm looking forward to going back to this one, but it's an interesting historical document for sure. But we do have a really loaded set here. Disc 1 is the Blu-ray with the film newly mastered in HD from archival 35mm Elements. Disc 2, we get a DVD, and then Disc 3 is a DVD as well, which we get Birth of a Nation restored. So on Disc 2, we get Birth of a Nation restored by David Shepard of Film Preservation Associates in 1993, and then Disc 3, well, on Disc 2 also we get the making of Birth of a Nation. Disc 3, we get some Civil War shorts directed by D.W. Griffith, and then a couple other extras on there as well. But pretty loaded release here from Kino on D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. Next up, we have another documentary, a film by Mark J. Francis and Max Pugh, narrated by Benedict Cumberbatch. This is Walk With Me. This is from 2017 and a runtime of 93 minutes. With unprecedented access, Walk With Me takes us deep inside the world-famous monastery of Zen Buddhist master, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but just seemed really, really fascinating to me. I'm interested in world religions and kind of spirituality and different things like that, and so I'm really excited to dive in on this one. And this is the problem: is I'm so into documentaries, and there's so many great titles that were offered. And each of them individually, you can't say no at the $9.99 or even less sometimes price point. And so it obviously just really, really stacked up for me this time. And that continues here with Lightning Over Braddock, Rust Bowl Fantasy and Collected Shorts, the films of Tony Bubba, is that? I might not be saying that right. Booba. And this is a 2-disc set here. Disc 1, we get Lightning Over Braddock, Braddock Chronicles 1. And then on Disc 2, we get Braddock Chronicles 2, and then Collected Shorts. So the content here ranges from 1972 all the way through 2019. So Disc 1, again, Lightning Over Braddock, that's 1988. Braddock Chronicles 1 is 1972 through 1980. Braddock Chronicles 2, 1981 through 85. And then the collected shorts range the widest. That's 1983 all the way through 2019. And then there's also special features, including a booklet. And the total runtime on this is 307 minutes. And includes both black and white and color presentations. I saw the review for this one on Blu-ray.com, and they had a very, very high recommendation for this collection. All right, next up, speaking of D.W. Griffiths, we have Walter Huston in D.W. Griffiths' Abraham Lincoln. I didn't know that D.W. Griffiths ever directed an Abraham Lincoln film. I'm really looking forward to this one. Abraham Lincoln is a subject that I don't ever get sick of. And this is just another opportunity to kind of further my education on Abraham Lincoln and experiencing him as a subject in film. So it looks like this was done in partnership with the Museum of Modern Art. Mastered in HD from the 35mm restoration by the Museum of Modern Art. And then yeah, just several extra features included here as well. Now this presentation here, this is a slipbox presentation on that film, so that's really cool. In fact, the next two here are slipbox presentations as well. Now next up here we have a film by Lee Chang-dong, and this is the film Poetry. I know nothing about this. I watched the trailer and was immediately grabbed. This is from 2010 out of South Korea with a runtime of 139 minutes. And the review on here says, grade A exquisite. Really looking forward to this one. Just a really great human drama. And yeah, I would recommend watching the trailer on this and seeing what you think. If you're into South Korean film, this looks to be something not to be missed. All right, and the final set that we have here before we get into our final stack of the Kino Lorber Studio Classics, we have another slipbox edition here. This is another collection of films. This is David Holtzman's Diary, a film by Jim Mcbride. A landmark in independent filmmaking that feels as fresh as ever. A delightful satire. Time has served it very well. So this is from 1967 with a runtime of 73 minutes. And also included here, Jim Mcbride's Diaries, 3 bonus films by the director, My Girlfriend's Wedding from 1969, Pictures from Life's Other Side, 1971, and My Son's Wedding to My Sister-in-Law from 2008. This is another one that I saw. I read the review for on Blu-ray.com, and it got very, very high marks. And so, again, at the price point that was offered, I couldn't say no. And a really nice presentation here, again, with the slip box. And yeah, nothing further to say on that one. All right, let's move into our last stack here. If you're sticking with me, thank you very much. I know this is a really big haul this time. So starting in on the Kino Lorber Studio Classics, we have The Ghost of Sierra de Cabre from 1964 with a runtime of 80 minutes. And this is featuring Martin Landau, Judith Anderson, and Diane Baker. I most recently saw Martin Landau in the Scream Factory release of Alone in the Dark. If you're a horror movie fan, that was actually a really fun title, one that I would recommend watching. But and this actually includes The Haunted, an alternate version of The Ghost of Sierra de Cobre, an audio, and then a couple of audio commentaries. All right, next up we have Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat. Trying to fill in the gaps on some of the Hitchcock titles that I don't have, and I know in here I've got this, and then I think one other. One other in the stack here, but this is starring Tallulah Bankhead, and you can see, a large cast there. This is from 1944, in black and white with a runtime of 97 minutes. Audio commentary, Hitchcock Truffaut, Icon interviews Icon, audio commentary, and the making of Lifeboat. So a really decent release there. Next up, we have a comedy from John Hughes. I can't say no to a John Hughes comedy. This has Frank Whaley, Jennifer Connelly, and Dermot Mulroney. And this is Career Opportunities. I heard this is really fun and felt like adding this one to the collection. We get an audio commentary and a theatrical trailer included here. Career Opportunities. I love Jennifer Connelly and John Hughes. That's a great match there. So looking forward to that one. Next up, we have a film directed by William Friedkin. I was hesitant there to say William Friedkin, but no, this is William Friedkin, and this is The Brink's Job, and includes an audio commentary and a theatrical trailer. This is from 1978 with a runtime of 104 minutes. Next up, a film directed by Frank Darabont. I'm a big Frank Darabont fan, namely for The Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. But a great cast here as well. This is Buried Alive. We have Tim Matheson, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and William Atherton and Hoyt Axton. Again, directed by Frank Darabont from 1990 with a runtime of 93 minutes. This is another one of those releases that I think initially had a really nice slipcover included, but I did miss out on that, but happy to have this in the collection. Next up, this release has been getting high marks. I'm a big Ray Milland fan, and so this was kind of a no-brainer. Also featuring Audrey Totter and Thomas Mitchell. This is Alias Nick Beale, directed by John Farrow from 1949 in black and white with a runtime of 93 minutes. An audio commentary by film historian Eddie Muller. That's a big sell for this release for me. And then we get a theatrical trailer as well. Eddie Muller, if you're not familiar, is associated with Turner Classic Movies. He's an authority on the subject of film noir. In fact, I recently added his book, Dark City, which is an examination of the film noir movement that I'm really looking forward to reading. But Eddie Muller is really great. If you've watched TCM over the years, you definitely know Eddie Muller. All right, next up, this is a film featuring Jodie Foster and Martin Sheen in a really creepy role, and Alexis Smith, Mort Schumann, and Scott Jacoby. This is The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. Really creepy little film here, actually. And I'm sorry, this is actually not a Studio Classics release. This was in the wrong stack. Who is this from? Sorry, I'm trying to see if this is a Scorpion releasing, if this is... Nope, it actually has the Kino Lorber logo on the back here, but it's not a Studio Classics title is what I'm saying. But this is from 1976 with a runtime of 91 minutes. If you haven't seen this one, it's a really good... kind of creepy, atmospheric a little bit. And I can't remember if this is a made-for-TV film or not. Maybe this is not a made-for-TV film. We do get an on-camera interview with star Martin Sheen, an audio commentary, original trailer, and then there's some reversible artwork included here as well. But great little film. All right, moving right along here, we have Robert Walker Jr., Godfrey Cambridge, Burgess Meredith, Garrett Graham, Larry Hagman, Sid Haig, Carol Lindley, and Dick Van Patten in a great cast. Beware the Blob. This looks like a really great, super cheesy 1972 film. This has a runtime of 91 minutes. We get an audio commentary, alternate title sequence, and trailer gallery. I can see our runtime on this. We're already over 30 minutes. I'm going to try and speed up through these last few here. Next up, we have Julie Andrews, Mary Tyler Moore, and Carol Channing in Thoroughly Modern Millie, directed by Ross Hunter from 1967, in color with a runtime of 152 minutes, Roadshow edition, fully restored in 4K by Universal, an audio commentary, and a theatrical trailer. Next up, one that I've had my eye on for a long time. This is Tommy Lee Jones and Linda Hamilton in Black Moon Rising. This is a loaded special edition. You can see nice long list of extra features there. This is from 1986 with a runtime of 100 minutes. You get an audio commentary, Black Moon Ascending, interview with director Harley Cokless, and then just a bunch more here, bunch more included here. So Black Moon Rising. Next up, we have the great Richard Widmark Henry Fonda and Inger Stevens, so great cast. And this is Madigan from 1968 with a runtime of 101 minutes. We get an audio commentary, TV spots, and a theatrical trailer. Richard Widmark and Henry Fonda. It's an immediate purchase for me. Next up, Brian over at Just the Discs was talking about this one. This is Richard Benjamin, Frank Langella, and Carrie Snodgrass in Diary of a Mad Housewife. And this is a Frank Perry film from 1970 with a runtime of 95 minutes. And we get an audio commentary and a theatrical trailer. All right, next up we have Andy Griffith, William Shatner, Robert Reed, and Marjorie Gortner, as well as Angie Dickinson, Janet Margolin, and Lorraine Gary in Pray for the Wildcats. I've heard really great things about this. From 1974 with a runtime of 92 minutes. And one of the things that kind of grabbed me, I think this is another film where Andy Griffith is maybe more of the antagonist. And it's interesting seeing him in that role. Here we get an audio commentary and trailers. And interesting to note here that the audio commentary features Amanda Reyes, which leads me to believe that this must be a made-for-TV film. Amanda Reyes is an authority on made-for-TV films and has a great book called Are You in the House Alone?, which I've actually covered on the channel, and that is well worth your time if you're interested in the in made-for-television movies. All right, next up we have David Jansen and a large cast here. Edie Adams, Ken Howard, Van Johnson, Robert Mattson, Vanetta McGee, Donna Mills, Tom Selleck, Jane Wyatt, and directed by Jerry Jameson. This is Superdome, and this is from 1978 with a runtime of 97 minutes. An audio commentary included here, as well as trailers. Next up, with director Peter Yates. The reason I was interested in this one is because I really love The Friends of Eddie Coyle. And this is the same director. Yeah, we have the film here, Robbery. And this is from 1967 in color with a runtime of 110 minutes. And we have an audio commentary by Nick Pinkerton, which is great, and a theatrical trailer as well. Sorry about that, guys. My iPhone ran out of storage, and so my recording stopped. But we had just covered Robbery by Peter Yates. So let's move on to the next title here. That's maybe my iPhone's way of telling me that I have made way too long of a video. But next up we have a film featuring Mary Badham, which that really grabbed my attention because she is, of course, Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird, my favorite film of all time. And this is also directed by William Castle, who I love the work of William Castle. And this is Let's Kill Uncle from 1966 with a runtime of 92 minutes. And this features an audio commentary, Mr. Castle and Me, an interview with actor Pat Carty, and 2 theatrical trailers. All right, just 5 more titles to go here. All right, next up we have a film that I had never heard of, and this got really high marks on... I looked at Blu-ray.com a lot for their reviews. I seem to trust a lot of the reviews that I see on there from those guys. This is Sissy Spacek, Mel Gibson, and Scott Glenn in The River. This is from 1984 with a runtime of 124 minutes. I've never heard of this film, and watched the trailer, read some reviews, and I'm most definitely interested. And this features an audio commentary by film historian and filmmaker Daniel Kramer, and film historian biographer Nat Segaloff, and a theatrical trailer. So this is The River. Really, really interested in this one. All right, next up we have the other Hitchcock title that I picked up during the sale. This is featuring Annie Andra, Sarah Allgood, and John Longden. This is Blackmail. And this release feels a little bit heftier for some reason. We get an audio commentary by film historian Tim Lucas, which will be great. Hitchcock Truffaut, Icon interviews Icon, which I believe was on the Lifeboat release as well, that special feature. The silent version of Blackmail, score by Mont Alto Motion Picture Orchestra, introduction by Noel Simsolo, and Annie Andre's screen test, which is really cool. But this is Blackmail from 1929 in black and white, runtime of 85 minutes. So I'm not sure if they have that, because again, this one feels a little heftier. I'm not sure if they have maybe the silent version on its own disc, or if there's maybe a booklet included here, not sure. Next up, we have Rutger Hauer, the great Rutger Hauer, rest in peace. In fact, I just watched The Hitcher recently, and man, what a performance. I love Rutger Hauer. And this is Wanted, Dead or Alive, from 1986 with a runtime of 106 minutes. We get an audio commentary, interview with Gary Sherman, interview with star Mel Harris, and 2 theatrical trailers. All right, and last 2 titles here. One that's been on my radar for a long time, another one starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, movie by Ryan Johnson, and this is Brick. This is said to be a newer noir type film, but it's from 2005 in color with a runtime of 110 minutes. It's really gotten my attention, and so I'll be popping this one in soon. This features a brand new 4K restoration supervised by Ryan Johnson, audio commentary, 8 deleted and extended scenes with an introduction by Ryan Johnson, the inside track, and it features a 5.1 surround and 2.0 lossless audio, as well as a theatrical trailer. So Brick. And last but certainly not least, we have a made-for-TV double feature here, including a really nice slipcover. I've really been getting into the made-for-TV content from Kino. They're really putting out some great titles. Namely, recently I've watched The Victim, Scream Pretty Peggy, The Screaming Woman, Kolchak, the 2 Kolchak films, and the TV series. But this is a double feature here of Fear No Evil and Ritual of Evil. So Fear No Evil is from 1969 with a runtime of 98 minutes, and Ritual of Evil is 1970, also with a runtime of 98 minutes. We get a new audio commentary, or I should say audio commentaries, by film historian and screenwriter Gary Girani. Newly commissioned art by Vince Evans, who's done artwork for some of the other releases that I was just talking about. Fear No Evil Image Gallery, and TV trailers. Always excited to add more made-for-TV movies to the collection, and really excited to see what Kino does in the coming months and years around made-for-TV movies. So really cool that one included the slipcover as well. So, as if that wasn't enough, that's the end of the haul from the Kino Lorber Roctober Sale. The cool thing about Kino is they always have a going out of print sale that's kind of just a continuing sale. So that's worth checking that list to see if there's any titles that you're interested in, as when those go out of print, they're out of print. They lose license on those titles, and you never know if other labels are going to pick those up or not. And they're really priced to sell. So if there's titles that you're interested in there, it's good to pick them up sooner rather than later before they do actually go out of print. But I'm interested to know down in the comments, are there any titles that you picked up from the Kino Lorber Roctober Sale? Let me know some of your favorite titles. I know Kino has an absolutely massive library, but definitely let me know some of your favorite Kino titles in your collection. And until next time, let's keep the conversation on film alive and well.